Hey guys, Coach Ed Haynes here from Coastal Fitness Performance Training, home of CSTL, to bring you strategies and tips for the very last open workout of the year, 17.5. Initial thoughts, so last week, finished strong. If you've gotten this far, one more to go guys, push hard. Thrusters and double unders, fairly unsurprising. For everyone here at CSTL and all the clients working under our banner, we've been doing a ton of thrusters and double unders this week, so now's the chance to implement it. The elites, Davidsdottir and Sigmundsdottir, made this look so easy. I know I seem to say it every single week, but having seen our elite competitors go through the workout and having done it ourselves, it was nowhere near as easy as those guys made it look. They made it look like a sprint. For 99% of people watching this, it will not be a sprint. It's a grinder, and I think the 40-minute time cap reflects that. At the end of the day, if in your head you're thinking that you're going to go unbroken with these movements, remember it still is 90 thrusters and 350 double unders. No joke. Thruster efficiency in terms of positions, and we'll talk about that, and double under efficiency are going to be very key factors as to how well you're going to do in this workout. General things with pacing. Your pace should have you feeling comfortable going into your 8th round. So it's quite hard to write this out for you because it's going to be so varied from individual to individual. But generally speaking, if you're hurting, grimacing, struggling to grind out reps way before the 8th round, you're in trouble. Really, this workout with a couplet where you're moving very quickly between the two, we want to stay well away from the red line for as long as possible. So really what I mean by that, and I've used this analogy before, is your pace should really stay the same from round 1 through till about round 8. The only reason I say round 8 is because we probably have an opportunity, if there's something left in the tank, to push hard for the last 2 rounds. If you look at Davidsdottir's splits, she was pretty much around 40 to 45 seconds every single round. The only exception being her very last round because she tripped on a double under. But generally speaking, there is going to be attrition in this workout. So even if your pace stays the same from round 1 through to round 8, it's going to feel harder and harder and harder and harder just because the respiratory system's working harder, muscle fatigue is starting to sneak and all that kind of stuff. So in terms of braking strategies, start with a strategy that you think you're going to finish. Don't start by going deeper into things like thrusters and double unders and then braking. Start with smart brakes from the start and then just carry that on for as long as you can through the workout. Obviously, with something like double unders, which is a skill and an accuracy component, too much fatigue is going to mean that you're going to start missing and tripping on double unders, which is going to contribute to a much slower time if there's a lot of those in your workout. So 3 areas, obviously the thrusters. Likely splits for most people are going to be something like a 5 and a 4 or a 3-3-3 throughout. Double unders, if you're proficient in double unders, you're going to be going unbroken, probably for the majority of the 10 rounds. Otherwise, doing something like a 25 and 10 split or a 15-10-10. And then lastly is obviously your transitions. So if you're breaking your movements, so if you're breaking the thrusters, your transition time between each break, and then obviously the time between finishing your thruster and going onto your double unders. If you're breaking double unders up, then your time between each break, and then the time taken from your last double under to starting your thruster. We really don't want to take more than 10 seconds. I'd say this applies to everyone globally. Don't really want to take more than 10 seconds in those transition times. By all means, break more, but don't rest them more than 10 at once. General reminders, guide your barbell down. Sigmundsdottir was dropping from the start and her barbell was bouncing everywhere. I think Dave Castro made it fairly obvious that you can't get assistance on this workout. So if your barbell does bounce and roll off, you have to be responsible for going and getting your barbell and bringing it back. So do guide it down. I think ladies generally, with your thinner plates, they're going to stop. But men using the 10 kgs or the 25 pounds, they're going to bounce a lot more. Leave your rope in a position that's easy to start with. Don't just drop your rope at the end and kind of let it collect in a big heap of mess. That's going to potentially tangle and just be annoying for you to come back into and have to mess around with. Lay your rope down in a position where you can step back into it and go. Position your station in a way that's going to allow for easy transitions between your thrusters to your double unders and your double unders to your thruster. What we don't want to do is set up our double under station, for example, right next to a barbell or right behind the barbell, because if the barbell does move, you're going to end up having to move your double under station as you go along. So I would really think, similar to what the ladies did, have your thruster bar, and then do your double unders rather than facing the bar, but actually go side on. So there's no chance that your rope is going to hit the bar or the weight plate in front of you. In your warm-up, or when you practice, if you're doing a practice run through this, make sure you set up your station in a way that it's going to be on the floor. So don't warm up by doing your thrusters here and your double unders here, and then get out onto the floor and you're doing your thrusters here and double unders behind. You should be practicing that movement between the two, and that should be fairly effortless and should require very little thought. Speak to your judge about counting your reps for your double unders. Sigmundsdottir, as you know, crept into the lead in that last round, but you could see her mind was distracted because she was looking at a judge, waiting for a judge to give her their reps. Really, that should have been a conversation that was had before. And to be honest, if it's your last round, go for 50. If your judge is counting accurately, they'll tell you when to stop. But generally speaking, some people find it distracting to have every number counted out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, that's quite hard for a judge to keep track. So I would advise something like getting your judge to tell you every 10 reps. So when you get to 30, it's a 31, 2, 3, 4, stop. Warm up, pretty straightforward. Movement preparation, as it seems to have happened a lot this month. Warm up your squat. We have the squat movement protocol for you, and warm up your overhead position. Go onto the Coastal Fitness YouTube channel. We got some really good movement pieces for you guys to work on improving your overhead position. Make sure your ankles are prepped because there's a lot of jumping. Once you've done your movement prep, that can be done either before you come in and do the workout that morning or the night before. We want to do some positional work. So basically that really only applies to the barbell. We might start with some overhead pressing, progressing that to push pressing. Then we move to some front squatting, making sure we're staying nice and upright, knees are out. And then the front squat, we transition into thrusters. Keep this light, maybe just with a PVC or a barbell, and make sure those movements are feeling good. Then we get into our specific warm-up, which is going to be something like 2 to 5 thrusters, step back, 10 to 15 double unders, 2 rounds of that, then rest, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Do it again if you need to. Maybe even throw some assault bike in there for some added knee flexion and quad fatigue and breathing. And then you're pretty much ready to roll. Last thing, don't just finish the workout and walk away thinking it's open. Make sure you cool down. Make sure you get your post-workout nutrition and recovery stuff in. And then on to next week. And for those of you who be finishing the season, great job, well done. For those of you who this is just step one of more competitions, hope you're still feeling healthy, and good luck for the rest of the year.